I've done it. I've created limestone color.
So as we look over the river scene with some ongoing work off to the sides, I've always wanted to recreate the color of limestone banks, like you see here. Very typical Midwestern part of the country. You see these things. Eventually I'll finish this off, probably with another wash. I've got one wash layer on there. Some, bushes and greenery and things like that. And I'm pretty happy with it. But making that color was very, very difficult. So not exactly a kitchen show with a bunch of mirrors overhead or whatnot, but set this up so you can see what I did to make the limestone color. We use this little white plastic container lid to make a palette, if you will. And I grabbed my three colors. I've got my yellow, white, and purple, believe it or not, are the ones you need. And we'll simply start off with a base of yellow, because obviously that's the most dominant color in there. And then I'm going to grab a little stick, mix that up. I didn't mix up that bottle before I started. But anyway, just regular old yellow, and really all you need. I'll put just a bit more in there after I shake it up. A little bit better consistency or whatnot. Next, the way I do it is just, remember to shake that up, just a couple drops of white, just to light it up a bit. I'll mix that in a little bit. Again, this is kind of a weird way to mix these colors, but just to show how this works, I'm doing it this way. That yellow's a little bit runny since I failed to shake that just now, but it's okay. All we're doing is demoing a color. There I go, shake up the purple a little bit. And I'm only gonna add a few drops, like such. Being very slow. Oop, that's probably actually plenty. Let's see what this does. So this is kind of crazy. You can see that limestoney color starting to come through. This one's a little bit lighter, but actually I'm pretty happy with that kind of variation. And again, this isn't the best mixing thing, but I'm just trying to demonstrate how these colors combine to give you this color. And there it is. Now that looks like any other limestone color you might find in a rock face or rock cut or something like that. And actually just with that, I'm pretty happy with it. I'd be happy to put that on a rock feature or something similar to that. And it works just fine. That's all it was. Base of yellow, a couple drops of white, and just a drop or two of the purple, and you're off and running. So just for fun, to see if we can darken this up a bit, I'm going to add just another drop of purple. It's plenty. And let's see what we get with that. I've been frustrated over the multiple times I've tried to do this. And you can see that you just need a little bit of purple to get that effect. That's even a richer kind of limestone effect that I would use as well. I think my riverbank is shows a little bit more dark because I do have the dark wash on there, but that's the kind of color I'd be shooting for. And happy with that too. Very happy with that. Just to show you what it does, let's be fun. Like, whoops, Bob Ross here. Okay, plenty of purple. Let's see if we get too much, what happens. See, look what happens. You get too much in there, that just looks weird. Yeah, I would stop there. That just looks like, I don't know what. I have no idea what that looks like, but it definitely would not go on this table. That's weird. We could try and balance it out with some yellow, but I don't know if you could salvage it or not. You might. Oh, look at that. Okay, you can bring it back down with a little bit of yellow. See how that's turning? That's okay. Okay, we could rescue that. That's not bad. But as I always say, this is about trying things, see what works, And if you're happy with it, go with it. And if you're not, there's always YouTube. In my quest to find the elusive, perfect limestone color, just wasn't finding much out there. But at a train show last winter, I did come across Superior Scenics. If you've ever seen these guys, they got some really good stuff. They're just down the road in Janesville, Wisconsin, and you can look them up online or whatnot. Picked up a bag of their new limestone ballast, or fine tailings, if you will. They actually manufacture this from a quarry here in the area and then grind it down. Very happy with the way that looks, and somewhat similar in tone to what we have here. So if you're looking for a match, this might be the way to go. I've used some of that Superior Scenic stone around the riprap areas of the abutments. Some of the glue didn't get everywhere, so that line of stone around the edge is a little bit lighter colored. So I'm going to pick those off, and I might thin out the sides because normally you don't see that much riprap on the side of an abutment, but very happy with that particular product. Getting to this point took a while. There was a lot of experimentation. There was more Sculptamold, more dark paint, more sanding, then more dark paint, then more sanding, and more Sculptamold. And the process continued to get to where I was satisfied with it.
You get a bit of an idea between the wash and the unwash, and obviously I need to go over this again with the brush. And obviously we got a little detail work to get into some of the crannies, but look at that. That looks like a sandstone embankment to a river. I am very surprised how that came out and very pleased. You got some of the rough and the contours capturing the paint well. The dark layer behind that adds to it. And somewhat by accident, somewhat as an experiment, I went ahead and painted the rocks. And I think it looks great because it all blends into one when it dries. Now, and then add in some other, little, smaller rock, some brush and things like that. And I think that will look outstanding. Finally,